Welcome everyone, my name is Krystal here with another TRX for Yoga experience. Today you are going to go through a 60-minute flow that focuses on rotation. And what we're going to do is we're going to focus both on creating rotation and resisting rotation. And my main intention is to open you up through your T-spine, your thoracic spine, the part of your vertebrae that runs between your shoulder blades. So we're going to focus both a little bit on opening and stabilizing through that area. For props today, I want to welcome you to grab maybe perhaps a face towel so that when we're on the ground, you have some cushion for underneath your knees, or maybe to wipe your brow and begin to sweat. And also, if you have a couple of yoga blocks, they're great tools to help you create a nice neutral spine, especially when we're on the floor. They help with alignment. Doesn't make it easier, doesn't make it any less powerful. In fact, it does the opposite. So when you're able to hold proper alignment, you'll feel more and you'll get more out of it. So if you have blocks, grab them. If you have a book or something at home, like a dictionary, a thick book, grab that as well. Any prop will do. Let's begin. Please stand facing your suspension trainer. You're going to make sure that your suspension trainer is fully shortened. And let's begin our warm-up. Place your hands into the foot cradles and begin to walk backwards. Hands are at about waist height. Bring your feet hips width apart, parallel to one another to begin today. Fan your fingers wide. Press down into your palms and lift the crown of your head away from your shoulders. Feel your core begin to activate. I want you to feel the bracing action of the muscles in your arms, like a contraction of muscle to bone. Also feel that in your abdominal area. The muscles that run along your spine behind you and the sides of your body in the obliques. To find that starting position, spin your thumbs up to the ceiling. Keep the tension in the straps as you separate your hands, rotate your arms overhead, palms face the anchor point. At this point in time, I want you to move your body forward or backwards until you're standing straight up. No leaning on the straps, and there's no slack in your suspension trainer. Now, quick tip for today. The closer you bring your thumbs together overhead, the harder it becomes to draw your shoulders away from your ears. And we want to keep a nice long space in the neck, pulling the shoulder blades away from the ears. So today I want to invite you to separate your hands a little wider than your shoulders. To give you full access, you'll feel those shoulder blades will have better movement and ability to move away from the ears. So don't mindlessly bring your hands too close together overhead today. Do so accordingly. Work your full range of motion while keeping the space in your neck. Slowly return your hands back to the starting position. We're going to tap into that Ujjayi breath. Breathing deep in and out through the nose. And let's connect that to the movement. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, back to starting position. Inhale, pull back. As you reach those arms up, be careful of those shoulder blades. Keep them away from the ears. Exhale, spin your palms down, rotate your hands back to the starting position. 2 more times like that. Inhale, pull back as you reach up. Exhale, arms back down. Last one. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Separate your collarbones, shoulder blades slide together. Exhale, back down to starting position. Equal pressure in both hands. This time, sweep your right arm only, up overhead. Pause. Your upper hand faces the anchor point. You are pushing and pulling equally with both hands in opposite direction. Bottom hand reaches forward and down. Upper hand reaches up and back. Anti-rotation here. Shoulders and hips face the anchor point. Just notice if your body wanted to rotate towards that right shoulder, even ever so slightly, and auto-correct. Shoulders and hips square to that anchor point. Unlock your knees. And now try to wrinkle the floor between your feet. Slowly return your hand back to its starting position and switch sides. Left arm sweeps up overhead. Left hand faces the anchor point. Pause. Resist the rotation here. Shoulders and hips face the anchor point. Upper hand reaches high and pulls back. Bottom hand presses down and forward. Slowly return your left hand back to the starting position. 1 more time per side. With breath, right arm up, inhale. Exhale, back to starting position. Left side, inhale, sweep it up. Try to wrinkle the floor between your feet. Squeeze the muscles. Exhale, left hand back down to starting position. Close your grip on the straps, hold on tight, and lean back. Pull down into your hands, lift your sternum away from the tailbone, drop your hips down and back. Low back rotation. Take your left shoulder, spin it up towards the ceiling. Bend your right knee. Use both of your feet. Push your left hip towards the floor. I want you to feel this in the upper right-hand side of your back and the lower left. Stay leaning away from your anchor point. Come back through center and switch sides. Roll your right shoulder up over the left shoulder. Bend your left knee and use both feet to push your right hip towards the floor. You're tractioning your spine. Draw those shoulders away from the ears. One more time per side with breath. Come back to center on the inhale. Left shoulder rolls up on the exhale. Back to center on the inhale. Right shoulder rolls up on the exhale. Back to center, pause. Press into your hands, pull your hips forward. Press into your hands again, rock your body weight forward, open up your palms, forward fold, you hinge. Anchor your heels into the ground, reach your hands towards that anchor point. Stay active through your practice. So number one, I want you to breathe deep in and out through your nose to make the sound of the ocean. Soften behind your knees, lift your sitting bones to the ceiling. Do a little bit of a body check. How do the back of your legs, low back feel today? And also no hanging on the straps. So I want you to ground down into your hands and lift your chest to the height of your hips. Upper arm bones slide towards the wall behind you and push the crown of your head away from your shoulders. Heel toe your feet together. Big toes come to touch, heels in line with your middle toes. If that bothers your low back, you keep your feet hips width apart. Spin your thumbs up to the ceiling. Begin to separate your hands in that forward fold position. Sweep yourself all the way up into extended mountain. You pull to rise, take a deep breath in. Forward fold. Exhale, soften behind the knees, push into your hands. Halfway lift, ground down into your hands and lift your upper body to about a 45-degree angle to the floor. I want you to exaggerate this. Imagine a tall fence out in front of you. Pull your chest away from your hips like you're trying to peek up and over that fence. Again, those upper arm bones draw towards the wall behind you. Take one more deep breath in. Forward fold, push into your hands, look down to the floor. Now we're going to move with breath. Extended mountain, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. From the bottom, you pull to rise, extended mountain, fan out your fingers. Forward fold, keep the backs of your knees unlocked. Halfway lift, draw your shoulders away from the ears. Forward fold. Extended mountain, separate your collarbones. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. One more time, extended mountain. Keep those shoulders away from the ears. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Bend your knees, drop your hips. Trx chair. Press into your hands and roll your shoulders up over your hips. Pause. Let's start with the feet. Your big toes are touching and your heels are slightly separated in line with your middle toes. Wiggle your toes and get heavy in your heels. Now, without physically moving your feet, I want you to try to separate the floor with your heels this time. Try to pull your heels away from one another. And what you should feel is all the stabilizing muscles in your thighs fire up and even your hips and your glutes. Try to separate the floor with those heels. Layer on to that action. Pull your hip bones up towards the belly button. Descend your tailbone to the floor behind you. You're trying to pull the pelvis to neutral so you have space in the low back. Press down into your hands so as you anchor your tailbone towards the floor, the middle of your chest lifts up. That's going to help you brace your core. Slowly spin your thumbs to the ceiling. Sweep your arms up overhead. Remember, keep your arms wide. Today, that's the practice to draw the shoulders away from the ears. Take one more deep breath in. Forward fold like a swan dive. You hinge and push into the hands. Single leg mountain. Sweep your arms up overhead and extend your right leg long out in front of you. Pause, breathe. If this bothers the upper hip flexor, so your right hip flexor, bend your right knee. There is no leaning back. I want you to pull into your hands and move your shoulders over your hips. Lower abdomen pulls in towards the spine as you press your upper leg forward. Take a deep breath in. Warrior 3. Hinge at those hips. Reach your hands towards the anchor point. Upper baby toe faces the floor. Look down to the ground and breathe. Softness behind your standing knee. Upper baby toe spins to face the floor as a way to square your hips to the ground. So you want to resist rotation here. Your shoulders and hips are square to the floor. Now press back through your upper heel a little more. Let's switch sides. Single leg mountain, arms up overhead, left leg forward this time. Be sure you're not leaning back. Use the straps to rock your weight forward over the standing heel. Keep those hands as wide as necessary so your shoulders can slide away from the ears. Press through your upper leg. Take a deep breath in. Warrior 3. If you hyperextend your standing knee, you'll have less mobility, less movability in your hips. So soften that standing knee a little bit. And now take your upper baby toe, spin it down to face the floor. It's like your inner thigh of your upper leg is spiraling up towards the ceiling. You'll actually feel that in your right glute a little bit more. That's helping you square your hips to the floor. Now press down into your hands and that one foot on the floor and lift up out of that right hip. Let's start from the top and link all of these movements together with breath. Bring your left foot to meet the right. Chair pose, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Single leg mountain, right leg forward. Take a deep breath in. Warrior 3, breathe out. Single leg mountain, left leg forward. Arms up, breathe in. Warrior 3, breathe out. From the top, chair pose, bend your knees a little more. As your arms sweep up, your shoulders stay down. Forward fold, push into those hands. Single leg mountain, extend that right leg forward, breathe in. Warrior 3, keep those shoulders and hips square to the floor. Switch sides, single leg mountain, arms up, left leg forward. Warrior 3. From the top, chair pose, try to separate the floor with your heels. Fold, sitting bones lift to the sky. Single leg mountain, right leg forward, press through your upper leg. Warrior 3. Make sure you're breathing, switch sides. Extended mountain, left leg forward, breathe in. Warrior 3, breathe out. We have one more. From the top, chair pose. Take a deep breath in, hold it in. Forward fold, push that air out. Single leg mountain, right leg forward, fill up your lungs. Warrior 3. Single leg mountain, left leg forward, arms up, breathe in. Warrior 3. Forward fold. Press down into your hands, slowly stand all the way up. Turn to face away from your anchor point. Hands at eyebrow height. If your anchor point is attached to a door or a wall, I want you to bring your suspension trainer down to mid-length for this sequence. If it's freely suspended from the ceiling, we're good where we are. With your hands at eyebrow height, find your balance on your left foot. Pull your right knee to the height of your hip. Now push into your hands. Separate your collarbones and witness your hands pull away from one another. They'll come to shoulder distance. Your shoulder blades are sliding together behind your back. You're standing straight up on that left foot. Nothing moves except your arms. Push into your hands, sweep your arms wide. Feel that nice stretch through your shoulders and chest. And bring your hands down by your hips. Don't get tugged backwards into your hands. Stay on that anchored in that standing heel. Push the crown of your head away from your shoulders. Airplane. Extend your upper leg towards the wall behind you. You hinge, upper body parallel to the ground. Very similar to Warrior 3, hips and shoulders square to the floor. Drive through your upper heel as you pull your hip bones towards the belly button. One foot on the floor, two hands in the straps. Press down into those 3 points. Return to your starting position. Keep your arms still. Extend through the hips, right knee to the height of the hip. We're going to flow in and out of this 2 times. Airplane, take a deep breath in. Return to the starting position, breathe out, extend through the hips. Again, airplane, take a deep breath in. Extend through the hips, breathe out. One more bonus rep. Inhale, kick back, squeeze the muscles of your upper leg. Now as you return to your starting position, arms up overhead, forehead height. Lift up onto the ball of your standing foot, crescent lunge. Bring your right foot far out in front of you in a lunge position. Hands land over your shoulders. Soft bend in your back knee so you have movability in your pelvis. Neutral pelvis, hip bones up to belly button, tailbone drops. Push into your hands and move your shoulders back over your hips. We're going to flow in and out of crescent lunge to airplane a few times. And every time you come into your crescent lunge, I want you to think bigger gap between your feet, longer stance. Let's begin. Press into your hands, return to your starting position, right knee to chest. Anchor your standing heel, airplane, kick back. Deep breath in. Starting position, breathe out. Lift up onto the ball of your standing foot. Take a deep breath in. Crescent lunge, plant that foot. Softness in that back knee. Hip bones up to belly button. Spring back, airplane, push into those hands. And you fly. Press into your hands like you're going to lift your whole body off the floor. Return to your starting position, knee to chest. Lift up on the ball of that standing foot. Press into your hands and roll out. Step out even further. Last round. Press into your hands. Spring back. Airplane. Last airplane of the day. Fan out your fingers. Fan out your toes. Come back to that starting position. What was the last airplane on this side? I should clarify myself. Come on out to that crescent lunge. Reach that right foot out even further. Pause. Press into your hands. Shoulders move back over hips. Hip bones lift up to belly button. Take a deep breath in. Drop your right arm by your side. Revolving crescent lunge. Push your hands away from one another. Really feel this stretch through your shoulders and down your arms. Use your back hand to help pull your hip bones up towards the belly button and sink into your legs. Get stronger in your legs. Slowly bring your right hand up overhead back to starting position. We're going to flow. Take a deep breath in. Same side. Right arm drops. Breathe out. Twist. Push those hands away from one another. Both arms up overhead. Take a deep breath in. Same side you go. Twist and breathe out. Stay low in those legs. Arms back up overhead. Take a deep breath in. Twist. Breathe out. You have 2 more. Inhale. Remember, keep the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, twist. Last one. Inhale, arms up overhead. Sink lower in your legs. Stay down there. Twist and breathe out and hold for 5. Push your hands away from one another. 4, hip bones up to belly button. 3, see what you're looking at. Just look and breathe. 2, arms back up overhead. Press back to your starting position. Take a clearing breath in. Open your mouth, sigh it out. Let's begin on the other side. Hands are at eyebrow height. Find your balance on your right foot. Pull your left knee to the height of your hip. Stay balanced on that standing foot. Press into your hands. Separate the collarbones. Hands will separate to shoulder width. And slowly sweep your arms by your sides. No leaning back into those hands. Flex your upper foot. Fan out your toes. Ground down into your hands and hinge into airplane. Kick that upper heel to the wall behind you. Chest parallel towards the floor. Square your hips and shoulders off to the ground. Press into that one foot in the floor. 2 hands in the straps. Return to that starting position. Arms stay still. Knee drives right up into the chest. Take a deep breath in. Airplane. Stand tall. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale, airplane. Stand tall. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, airplane. Fan out those fingers. Exhale, stand tall. Arms sweep back up overhead. Time for crescent lunge. Lift up onto the ball of your standing foot. Slide into your hands. Step your left foot forward to the floor out in front of you. Your feet are not glued to the floor. Move them around a little bit. Feel stable. Your feet can come hips width apart. Press your hands forward into the straps. Move your shoulders over your hips. Pull your hip bones up towards the belly button and take your ribs, knit them into the belly. Let's flow. Press into those hands. Return to your starting position. Anchor your standing heel to the floor. Airplane. Sweep your arms by your sides. Look down to the ground. Slowly return to that starting position. Lift up onto the ball of your standing foot. Crescent lunge. Step that left foot to the floor out in front of you. Pause. Hip bones slide up to belly button. Airplane. Every round your movements get bigger. Your breath becomes more audible. Starting position. Lift up onto the ball of your standing foot. Slide out into that crescent lunge. Bigger step. You have one more. Press into those hands. Spring back. Anchor your standing heel. Airplane. Hips are square to the floor. Return to that starting position. Lift up onto the ball of your standing foot. Roll it out. Biggest crescent lunge yet. Pause. Don't be afraid to bend that back knee so you have more malleability in those hips. Slide the pelvis to neutral. Push into your hands, shoulders back over hips. Revolving crescent lunge. Drop your left arm by your side. Look over your left shoulder. Push your hands away from one another. Can you feel a deeper stretch through your chest and your arms? Neutral pelvis so that you're not overarching that low back. Hip bone slide up to belly button. Stay low in those legs. Let's flow. Left arm back up overhead. Take a deep breath in. Twist and breathe out. Keep the pressure in those hands. Inhale, both arms up overhead. Twist and breathe out. Let your gaze follow your left hand. Inhale, both arms up overhead. Exhale, twist. Really sink deep into those legs. Neutral pelvis, remember. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, twist. You have just one more. Inhale, both arms up overhead. Take a deep breath in. Twist and hold. Breathe out. You keep breathing in and out. Hold your position for 5, 4, 3, 2. Both arms back up overhead. Press into your hands. Step your feet together. Turn around to face your anchor point. Let's clear it away with that vinyasa. Extended mountain. Take a deep breath in. If there's slack, you move back. Forward fold. Soften behind your knees. Halfway lift. Breathe in. Fold. Breathe out one more time. Extended mountain. Pull to rise. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Exaggerate it. Forward fold. Halfway lift and hold. And we're going to go into a golfer's swing. So this halfway lift is very important to maintain. Upper body is at about a 45-degree angle to the floor. You are not in a forward fold. Take your upper arm bones, draw them to the wall behind you. Keep your hips square to the anchor point. It's only through the shoulders, the T-spine, that you rotate. Take the left arm, sweep it up and back. So very similar to what we were doing before. You push your hands in opposite directions. Take your gaze towards your upper hand and square your hips towards the anchor point. Right hip pulls back, left hip forward. Shoulders draw away from the ears. You go just as far as you can and still be able to maintain your breath. Slowly bring that left hand back down to neutral. Make sure the body is still at a 45-degree angle from the floor, that halfway lift. And repeat on the other side. Right arm begins to sweep up and back. Push your hands away from one another. Think about pressing the crown of your head away from your shoulders. Left hip draws back, right hip forward. Keep your hips square to the anchor point. Come back through center. Stay here, take a deep breath in. Left arm rotates up, breathe out. Back to center, breathe in. Right arm twist, breathe out. Pull the lower belly into the spine for support. One more time per side, back to center, breathe in. Keep that upper body lifted. Left arm rotates up, breathe out. Back to center, breathe in. Twist, breathe out. Back to center, pause. Chair, bend your knees, slide the shoulders up over the hips. Arms can sweep up overhead. For 5, hip bones to belly button. 4, try to separate the floor with your heels. 3, can you bend your knees a little more? 2, you got this. Forward fold and release. Single leg mountain, right leg forward. You've been here. Take a deep breath in. Warrior 3. Press into your hands and that 1 foot on the floor, like you're going to lift your whole body up off the ground. 3-legged dog. Bend your upper knee to 90 degrees. Roll your right hip up over your left hip. Flex your upper foot and fan out your toes. Now here, you're rotating the hips only, keeping the shoulders square to the floor. Think about a dog in a fire hydrant. If you feel very unstable, separate your hands so you can keep your balance a little better. If you feel any discomfort in your upper body, neck, and shoulders, bend your elbows to 90 degrees. I want you to keep your standing heel anchored to the floor and lean into your hands a little more. Lift your upper knee towards the sky. Take 1 more deep breath in. Standing figure 4. Press into your hands. Stand up. Sweep your right ankle over your left thigh. Flex your upper foot. Press into your hands, shoulders stacked over hips, and take a seat. Drop your hips down and back. I want you to keep your upper foot flexed. Pull your toes towards your shin and work your upper knee towards the floor. Get into that right hip. We're going to flow in and out of this into a hinge back up to that squat position that we're in right now. So I want you to press your hips towards the wall behind you and reach your hands towards that anchor point. You bring your chest towards your upper shin as much as you can while maintaining your breath. Press into your hands, slowly roll your shoulders up over your hips. Right here, take a deep breath in. Fold, breath out. Keep that standing knee bent like you're squatting the whole time. Only the shoulders move. Inhale, shoulders over hips. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll your shoulders up over the hips. Exhale, fold. 1 more. Inhale, shoulders up over hips. Stay in that seated position. Exhale, fold and hold for 5, 4, keep breathing. 3, shoulders away from the ears. 2, big toes touch. Stand up nice and tall. Extended mountain, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale, 1 more time. Extended mountain, you pull to rise. Keep those hands nice and wide. Forward fold, push the air out of your body. Halfway lift, pull it back in. Forward fold, golfer swing. Halfway lift, bend those knees. Let's start with the right arm this time. Press equally into both hands, fan out your fingers. Right here, right now, take a deep breath in. Right arm reaches up and back, breathe out. We have 3 per side. Inhale, back to center, keep your hips square. Exhale, left arm up, only open up through that upper body. Inhale, back to center. Right arm reaches up and back, follow the moving hand with your eyes. Inhale, back to center, belly pulls in. Exhale, twist, left arm up. 1 more per side, you got this. Inhale, back to center, shoulder blades together. Exhale, twist, push your hands away from one another. Back to center, 1 more time. Twist and breathe out. Back to center, pause, press into your hands. Chair, bend your knees, roll your shoulders over the hips. Option to sweep your arms up overhead. Keep them as wide as necessary today. For 5, pull the ribs into the belly. 4, try to separate the floor with your heels. 3, see what you're looking at. 2, take a deep breath in. Forward fold. Single leg mountain, left leg forward. Take a deep breath in. Warrior 3, hips and shoulders square to the floor. I want you to lift up out of that right hip. So press into your hands, 1 foot on the floor, lift your whole body up, stay up there. 3-legged dog, rotate the hips only. Bend your upper knee to 90 degrees, roll your left hip up over that right hip. Flex your upper foot, fan out the toes. Remember, you can separate your hands. That may just help you keep your shoulders square a little better. You can always cactus open the arms, bending the elbows to 90 degrees. Standing knee is soft. Standing heel anchored to the floor, and you lean towards the hands a little more. Oh, take one more deep breath in. Standing figure four. Cross your left ankle over your standing thigh. Stand all the way up. Press into your hands. It's like a single leg chair. Drop those hips down and back, shoulders over hips. Upper arm bones draw to the wall behind you. That helps you keep a nice flat back. So you keep the upper arm bones pulling back, which slides your shoulder blades together. And you're going to hinge at your hips. Press your tailbone back as you reach your hands forward. You fold over your front shin. Your upper foot is flexed. Protect the ankle, protect the knee. And gently work your left knee towards the floor. Press into your hands. Roll your shoulders up over your hips. Take a deep breath in. No standing up. Exhale, hinge. Upper body parallel to the floor. Inhale, shoulders up over hips. Breathe in. Sink in a little more. Breathe out. Really open up that left hip. You have two more. Inhale, shoulders over hips. Exhale, hinge. Last one. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out, and you hold for 5. Bend into that right knee. 4, really press into your hands. 3, 2, stand up, big toes touch. Let's clear it away. Extended mountain, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. One more, extended mountain, pull to rise. Forward fold, you empty. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold and breathe out. Press into your hands. Stand all the way up. Heel toe your feet, hips width apart. We're going to add rotation throughout the entire body and open up the chest. Press down into your hands equally. Start to sweep your arms over to the right. Your hands will remain shoulder width apart. Sweep your arms over to the right and spin. Pick up your back heel, your left heel. You're pivoting on the ball of your left foot. Turn to face away from the anchor point. Press into those hands. Pull the ribs into the belly. Sweep your arms by your hips. Open up the chest. Go nice and slow. Bring your arms back up overhead. Keep those shoulders away from the ears. Now push into your hands. Sweep back through center. Both heels anchor to the floor. Switch sides. Sweep your hands over to the left. Pick up your right heel. Pivot on the ball of your right foot until now you're turning to face away from the anchor point as much as your body will allow you to. Slowly sweep your arms, peel your arms wide, bring your hands by your sides. Lift the sternum away from the tailbone. Bring your arms back up overhead, press through your palms, sweep back through center, other side. Just one more time per side. Keep your gaze steady, keep the breath flowing. Sweep your arms back up overhead. Press into your hands, sweep back through center. So it's almost like a golfer swing, but both hands are moving at the same time. Think about hitting that golf ball. You would pick up that one heel to gain more power through your rotation. Come back to center, pause. Press into your hands, stand all the way up, heel toe your feet together. Standing leg raise, keep breathing. Bring your left hand into both foot cradles, free your right hand. Grab the outside of your right knee with your right hand. You either are holding on to the outside of your right knee with your right hand or hook the big toe of your upper foot with your first 2 fingers and extend your right leg out in front of you. And keep that upper knee soft. Upper arm bones draw to the wall behind you. Hips and shoulders square to that anchor point as you pull your right leg over to the right. Whether you have your knee or toe doesn't matter. Press down into that left hand, lift your chest away from your tailbone. Now, as you draw your right leg over to the right, your whole body's going to want to go with it. So I want you to anti-rotate just a little bit. Pull your left hip back, right shoulder forward. Square your hips and shoulders to that anchor point. Take one more deep breath in. Slowly come back to center. Bend your right knee into your chest. Grab your right ankle with your right hand, Trx tree. Bring your right foot to your inner left thigh. Can you bring that foot a little higher than normal because of how you just opened your hips? If that foot doesn't want to go above the knee, just bring it to the calf below the knee, just not on the knee joint. One hand per foot cradle. Upper knee draws to the wall behind you. Same thing here, hips and shoulders square to the anchor point. We're going to add some fluidity and dynamic movement with the arms. Inhale, arms up overhead, palms face that anchor point. Keep those hands wide. Exhale, back down to starting position. I want you to feel your triceps ignite. Keep the tension in the straps. Inhale, pull back as you reach up. Exhale, back to starting position. You have just 3 more. Standing knee unlocked. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale to starting position. Hip bones slide up to belly button. Inhale, arms up overhead. Shoulder blades slide together. Exhale to starting position. Oh, this is it. Last one. Reach up as high as you can go. Take a deep breath in. Hold it in. Both feet to the floor. Forward fold. You hinge. Great work. Halfway lift. Inhale. Fold. Exhale. Heel toe your feet, hips width apart. Press into your hands. Stand all the way up. Let's start this flow on the other side. Begin to the left. We're going to add that rotation with the chest opener. Soften behind your knees. Press down into your palms. Both hands at the same time. Sweep over to the left. Pick up your right heel. Look over your left shoulder. Arms up overhead. Sweep your arms wide. You push forward into those hands. You go as far apart as you can. Open up that chest. Bring both arms back up overhead. Push forward into those hands. Sweep back through center. Switch sides. Pick up your left heel. Look over your right shoulder. Open up. Breathe. Hip bones slide up to belly button. Even here. Come back up overhead. Sweep back through center. Soften those knees. Pick up that right heel. Look over your left shoulder. And you go. You add movement and breath. You create that vinyasa flow. Come back through center. One more time, other side. Follow your gaze. See what you're looking at. Arms up overhead. Come back through center. Pause. Both heels anchor, press into your hands, stand all the way up, heel toe your feet together. Place both foot cradles into your right hand, standing leg raise. Grab the outside of your left knee with your left hand. Or hook your big toe with your first 2 fingers and extend your upper leg out in front of you. Draw your upper arm bones back. Press into that right hand to feel your core brace. Left leg over to the left, but your hips and shoulders don't follow. You keep your shoulders and your hips square to the anchor point. As you pull your pelvis to neutral, open up the inner thigh of your upper leg. Breathe. For 3, 2, come back to center. Bend your left knee into your chest. Grab your left ankle. Keep the chest lifted. Tree. Bring the sole of your left foot to your inner right leg. Draw your upper knee to the wall behind you. Anchor your tailbone to the floor. 1 hand per foot cradle. Get your stability here, so feel balanced, secure and strong. Now let's move the arms. Spin your thumbs up to the ceiling. Pull your hands apart. Remember, keep your hands wider than the shoulders so your shoulders do not creep up. Slowly bring your arms back down to the starting position. 4 more. Inhale. You want to tempo the breath so that inhale matches the sweep up. Exhale matches the sweep down. Inhale. Hold it in. Exhale, push it out. Just 2 more. You got this. Inhale, separate those collarbones. Exhale, back down. Last 1. Reach up as high as you can go. Take a deep, deep breath in. Both feet to the floor, forward fold. You swan dive down, press into your palms. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. Last one of the day, extended mountain, pull to rise. Forward fold, hinge. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold and breathe out. Press into your hands, slowly stand all the way up. Bring your suspension trainer to mid-length. You're going to brace the D-rings or barrel locks and pull the handles down to hover right below the kneecaps. At this point in time, you might want to grab a sip of water. Grab your blocks, have your towel handy. We're going to come down to the ground facing away from the anchor point and slide the left foot into both foot cradles. Runner's lunge. If you want that face towel, you can bring the face towel underneath your left knee for a little extra cushion. Hands are to the ground, shoulder width apart. Bring your right foot to the outside of your right hand. And right here, right now, is a great time for blocks. Do you see the distance between my back knee and my front foot? My back knee is behind my hips. I'm trying to get into the hip flexor and really open up the hips, so slide your left knee back. Option to bring a block underneath your hands so that you can lift the chest a little higher to create a flat back. If you round through your shoulders, you are robbing yourself of the opening in your hips. As soon as you create that nice flat back through the shoulder blades, you deepen the stretch all the way down in your hips. Press into both feet, option, always an option for that back leg, to lift your back knee up off the ground. This becomes more strengthening. So again, your hands can be on blocks. You can stack the blocks as high as you want them to go, or you can have your hands on the ground. But I want you to press into both of your feet. Front knee stacked over front heel. Squeeze the quadriceps of your back leg and pull the hip bones up towards the belly button. No sagging in that low back. Use your hands, pull the chest away from the hips. For 3, 2, back knee to the ground, extended side angle. Step 1, press your right knee into your right arm. Keep breathing your breath. Take your left hand to your left hip. Now, really important is that you keep pressing your right knee into your right arm. That's what produces the rotation. Left shoulder starts to rotate up over the right shoulder. You can keep your back knee on the ground. Option to lift your back knee off the ground, pivot your back toes in the direction that you're looking. So the arch of your back foot is in the straps. Another option is to reach your upper hand to the sky. Keep pressing that right knee into the right arm. You tuck your bottom hip under, roll the top hip back. Reach high with your upper hand as you breathe in. Squeeze the muscles in your body as you breathe out. 2 more, inhale. Exhale, twist. Last one, take a deep breath in. Upper hand to the ground, pivot your back knee to the mat. Half split. Take your right hand to the outside of your right foot. Blocks are super handy here as well. You're going to begin to straighten your right leg, sit back towards your left heel. Pull the toes of your right foot up off the floor. Dorsiflexion. Soft bend behind your right knee. And with a flat back, you're going to fold over your front thigh. So really open up the back of your right leg. This is where the blocks come in handy. Bring blocks underneath your hands so that as you hinge, you do not want to round through your spine. Keep that nice flat back. Right hip draws back, left hip forward. Inhale, press the crown of your head towards your right toes. Exhale, fold a little deeper. One more time. Inhale, lengthen the vertebrae. Exhale, fold a little deeper. Slowly walk your hands back out in front of you. One hand to either side of your front foot. Now we're going to add rotation to the runner's lunge. Plant your left hand to the center of your mat or the floor, right underneath your sternum, to the inside of your right foot. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Press into your back foot and lift your back knee up off the ground. You're going to rotate towards your front leg. So peel your right shoulder up over your left shoulder. Again, that bottom hand can be on a block. Back knee can be on the floor. Upper hand can reach to the sky. Both upper arm bones draw towards the wall behind you. For 5, keep pressing into your feet. 4, lower belly pulls into the spine. 3, see if you can look towards your upper hand. 2, upper hand to the ground, back knee to the mat. Stand up, quad stretch. Draw your left knee forward to the height of your hip. Reach back, grab the straps as close to the handle as you can, and pull your left heel towards the tailbone. Grab the straps with the right hand as well. Push your left knee towards the floor and pull your hip bones up towards the belly button. Pull the chest away from the hips. Draw your elbows together behind your back. You're playing tug of war with your left foot. Your left foot is pulling down as your hands are pulling up. Get that deep stretch in that left quad. For 5. 4, breathe your Ujjayi breath. 3, 2, return to your starting position. Create tension, hook it with the back foot. Reach your arms out in front of you, shoulder height, shoulder width. On a count of 5, you're going to lunge all the way down to the ground. Start to bend into your knees for 5. Press into both feet. 4, shoulders over hips. 3, you're defying gravity. Keep breathing. 2, back knee to the ground. Hands down to the ground. Both knees to the floor. Take a clearing breath in and a clearing breath out. Slide your right foot into the foot cradles. Take your left foot out. Runner's lunge, left foot forward. Plant your hands. Don't forget, you can put your hands on blocks. Step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Use your hands here. Take the eyelets of your elbows, the insides of the elbows, and spin them away from your body as a way to separate your collarbones and slide your shoulder blades together. Slide that right knee back. Don't be afraid to put a towel underneath it for cushion. Press into both of your feet. Option to lift that back knee up off the ground. Every single time you inhale, now remember, you're inhaling to your maximal capacity as deep as you can. Every time you inhale, you're lengthening, you're stretching, you're trying to feel that good sensation. And every time you exhale, you're contracting or twisting. It depends on the pose, but that's when you get stronger. It's the ebb and the flow, the rise and the fall, the inhale, the lengthen, the exhale, the contraction. Take one more deep breath in. Slowly bring your back knee to the ground. Extended side angle. Push your left knee into your left arm. Fire up your left inner thigh muscles. Keep that. Bring your right hand to your right hip. And just by you pressing your knee into your arm, it already begins to propel the rotation, right shoulder up and back. You can keep your back knee on the ground or lift that back foot off the floor. Pivot the toes of your back foot to face the direction you're looking. Arch of your back foot is grounding into the straps. Option to reach your right arm to the sky. Left knee stacked over left heel. Every inhale, reach your upper hand to the sky. Every exhale, you twist. Bottom hip under, top hip back. For 5, 4, pull the crown of your head away from the shoulders. 3, you can do this, breathe deeper. 2, upper hand to the ground, pivot your back knee to the floor. Take your left hand to the outside of your left foot, half split. Sit back towards your right heel. Straighten that left leg, pull the ball of your left foot up off the floor. Your hands are underneath your shoulders. Option to use props under your hands to help you maintain that flat back. Because here's the deal, if you don't use props and you're rounding through your spine, you'll feel less and you'll get less. But if you can maintain that flat back and then breathe for the inhale and the exhale, you sink deeper, the expansion and the contraction, you get so much more out of it. Draw your left hip back, right hip forward. It's almost, your left leg isn't moving, but it's almost like you're dragging your left heel backwards. Try that. See, I'm actually dragging right now. You can't see it, but I feel it. It's a deeper stretch behind my left leg. One more deep breath in. Deep breath out. Slowly come back to your starting position, runner's lunge, rotating towards that front leg. Plant your right hand to the ground, to the inside of your front foot. Block is appropriate. Left hand to your left hip. Option to pick that back knee up off the ground. If you can, you must. It might be intense, but you can do it. If there's pain, you keep your knee on the ground. Start to roll your left shoulder up over your right shoulder. Option to reach that left arm to the sky. Every inhale, you lengthen. Every exhale, you twist. My friend Chris calls this the greatest stretch on earth. I cannot agree more. You may have caught us a couple years ago. We were at the TRX Summit in Baltimore, and we did a presentation together. We previewed this here. Good memories. Take one more deep breath in. Twist, breathe out. Upper hand to the ground, back knee to the mat. Stand up, quad stretch. Drive through that left heel. Ooh, stand all the way up, right knee to the height of your hip. Reach back with your right hand, grab the straps as close to your right foot as you can. Draw your right heel to the tailbone, knees in line with one another. Reach back, grab the straps with your left hand as well. Pull your right heel up towards the tailbone as you push your right knee towards the floor. Keep your gaze steady, help you balance. Hip bones tilt up to the belly button. Chest lifts away from the hips. Elbows hug together behind your back. Now, when you pick something to look at, I want you to look to the horizon or above. Don't look down. Practice looking where you're going. You know what you're up to. Sometimes it can be uncomfortable, right? Let's practice. 5, 4, you catch yourself looking down, you fix it, you look up again. 3, breathe a little deeper. 2, return to that starting position, hook the tension in the straps. Arms out in front of you, shoulder height, shoulder width. Shoulders over hips. Here we go. We lower down on the count of 5. Begin to bend the knees. 4, you press and lean into that back foot. 3, 2, back knee to the ground. Hands on either side of your front foot. Both knees to the mat. Slide your foot out of the foot cradles. Turn around to face your anchor point. You're going to hook your heels through the foot cradles. You've made it. Time to cool down. Sit with your legs extended long out in front of you. Toes under the anchor point. If you're against the wall or a door, be about 6 to 8 inches away from that. With your first 2 fingers, grab the foot cradles. Sit up nice and tall. Lean to the right hip. Hook your left heel through the foot cradle. Point your left ankle and slide it all the way through. Left hand to the ground for support. Repeat on the other side. Point your right ankle, hook the heel through. Both legs extend long out in front of you. Pull your toes into the handles. I like to bring my hands by my sides. Sit up nice and tall. Sit equally on both sitting bones. Press your heels forward. Lower belly in. Arms reach to the sky to lengthen the spine. Take a deep breath in. Hinge with that new length. Reach for the yellow TRX tabs. You bend your knees as much as necessary so that you don't round through your shoulders. There's a bit of a push and pull action. You're pulling with your hands as you're pushing forward with your heels. Separate those collarbones so maybe your elbows will draw apart, away from one another just a little. Take one deep breath in. Fold, deep breath out. Sit up nice and tall. Arms reach up to the ceiling. Seated spinal twist. Equal pressure on both feet. Bend the right knee. Right hand down to the ground. See if you can get more rotation. Take your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Perhaps before you might have only been able to hug the knee, but you've been rotating and practicing so much today. Can you get a little bit more? Lift the chest up away from the hips. Look over your right shoulder. Every inhale is on purpose. You lengthen through the vertebrae. Every exhale, you twist, look over your right shoulder. Because your feet are suspended, keep pressing the knee into the arm. One more deep breath in. Twist and breathe out. Come back to center. Arms up overhead, both legs straight. Switch sides, left hand to the mat. Bend the left knee. Bring your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Press the knee into the arm to propel the twist. Lengthen on the inhale. Look over the left shoulder and twist as you exhale. Lower belly pulls in towards the spine. You're creating more room to twist. One of my favorite reasons to twist during yoga is it's so good for the digestive system. You want a little bit of bracing of the muscles in the core as you twist. It's like a massage for your internal organs. Come back to center, arms and legs straight. Reach your arms straight up to the ceiling. This is it, final effort. Press through your heels, ignite the muscles in your legs. Reach up through your hands, ignite the muscles in your arms. Keep that and roll back one vertebrae at a time. Keep driving through your heels. Keep reaching your hands away from your body. Once you're lying down on the ground, reach your arms to the floor behind you, total body stretch. Press through your heels, lift your hips up off the ground. From your fingertips to your toe tips, squeeze every muscle in your body and lengthen. Feel the muscles in your belly hollow. Take one more deep breath in. Hips down to the ground. Arms by your sides, palms face up. And take a moment, slide your shoulder blades together underneath you. Let your feet fall away from one another in those foot cradles. It's time for Shavasana. Deep rest. Let's let go of that Ujjayi breath together through your nose. Take a deep breath in. Open your mouth and sigh it out. Rest. All mind at the time. In a few moments, we'll conclude our practice together, but for now, this is your time to rejuvenate. The intention of an elevated Shavasana is meant to enhance the sense of relaxation. If your feet in the foot cradles are proving to not be comfortable, you're welcome to bring your feet to the floor. Let your body melt into the ground. Through your nose, take a deep breath in. Open your mouth and sigh it out. Slowly begin to sway your feet side to side. Bring movement back to your body. And come back to center. Hug your knees into your chest. With your fingertips, slide the foot cradles off of your feet. Hug your knees into your body. Give them a good squeeze. Roll over onto your right hand side. Extend your right arm above you so you're resting your ear to your bicep. Keep your eyes closed and be here a moment. Just do a quick body scan. How do you feel? Acknowledge yourself for all of your hard work over the past hour. Recognize that you have the power within you. You are the one that created this sensation. Add language to it. You feel empowered. You feel a boost in your vitality. You feel a new sense of freedom in your physical body. Label it. Claim it. And give yourself credit for it. Slowly make your way to a comfortable sitting position. Still, your eyes are closed. Sitting nice and tall. Hands come down to your knees. Let's seal our practice together with one more deep breath in through your nose. Breathe all the way in. Open your mouth and push that air out. Slowly open your eyes. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I know I can't see you, but I have to say, great work. I know everything that it takes to put into this practice, and I hope that you will come back and join me again. So I am here weekly with you guys, but what's so great about our TRX live classes is that they're also recorded. And so after they launch, after today, when it launches, it's going to live on our on-demand site. This is meant to come back to, right? Because the first time you do it, it's a new routine, so it's kind of like you're focusing on what comes next, and you're not quite sure. And week after week, you have the opportunity to get deeper into your practice, to feel something brand new. So I really welcome you to come back. I love feedback, so let me know what you think about the practice and if there's anything else that you would like to see more. Until then, hydrate. Support all of your efforts in feeling well, especially after today because you twisted a lot. You want to rinse everything that doesn't belong out of your system, leaving you feeling fresh and brand new. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Until then, keep smiling and do what feels good. Thank you.